throwing bricks at the police.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
All right, let's go to Los Angeles today, you guys. Let's go to the LA riots. I'm an 80s baby, so I witnessed the LA riots firsthand, being alive during that time, right? With Rodney King and all that, man. What was it, the Korean dude on the rooftop or something? I forget, but you know what I'm talking about. Well, history at some point is repeating itself. Now, I did another video about ICE, the deportations in Washington, I believe it was. And we're going to talk about this, but I'm having different clarifications in my mind about what's going on. And I want you guys to hear me out because first and foremost, that intro is kind of prophetic. And there's these things that have been going on in the demoralization phase of America, right? But also there's infiltration from certain agencies to co-opt things and make things happen, right? We saw this in the Summer of Love with the BLM riots. We saw this with the J6ers. We saw this. I mean, you see so much infiltration, even the infiltration of the Black Panthers at some capacity. So these things happen, and I'm starting to wonder, okay, we're going to get into this, but just hear me out. Every tragedy that happens seems to get weaponized by the government. Doesn't matter the administration gets weaponized by the government for the government to gain a little more power and control. So I want to view this through that lens, right? Now, some of this is crazy. If this is just regular American citizens throwing rocks and doing all this crazy stuff to cop cars, they're going to F around and find out. However, if there's some, infiltration of agents, activists, like there's all these psyops going on, you guys. So I just want you to be aware of that as we go into this. Again, I do not agree with this. I get pissed off. I am a legit person who believes in the American flag, the American values, what the American flag stands for, equality, justice for all, land of opportunity, all these things. So when people are rocking with all these other flags in our country, and it don't matter to me, man. It doesn't matter the country. It doesn't matter if it's Mexico, Ukraine, whatever. I'm just like, bro, the American flag, like that's got to be first because this is why you even have that opportunity. These people would not be doing this in Mexico. These people would not be doing this in Mexico, you guys. Anyway, y'all let me know. Let's watch. Let's go to LA. This is happening in real time, you guys, so you can see it for yourself. And y'all let me know. Again, my stance is simple. I told y'all yesterday. It's just simple. Having taxpayers and our resources going to people who aren't citizens, when veterans, citizens, homelessness, there's all these things Americans have to deal with. I'm not cool with that, period. So absolutely get the criminals, the out of here first, and then let's figure out the process for the others. But there's a process, and I have friends, family, people I know who've went through the process to become a legal citizen. It took them 6 to 9 to 10 years sometimes, and it's not fair when people cut the line. That's just the truth. So I don't know. Let's see what's up.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
See, that is crazy. That's like that activist nonsense. So if you're not familiar with some of the underground activism that's happened in America, this type of stuff has always popped up where people, this is America now. It's just what it is, you guys. It's America. When you say statements like that, that's wild to me. That's crazy. And this is why people will justify, Trump sending the military in, which at first I was even like, hey, man, you got to do what you got to do. These people are trying to take America and turn it to Mexico. You got to do what you got to do, bro. I actually feel that. But then when you think about all the psyops that have happened in the history of America, you're like, damn, is this to get more power and like kind of deconstruct the process of protesting? Now, this isn't a protest. Throwing bricks at federal agents or ICE or whatever is not protesting, bro. That's not protesting. Protesting, have a sign, we will, and maybe even standing somewhere and not moving. That's protesting. This is violence. This is aggression. So again, it is what it is.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids. The past few days have been wild here on the streets of LA. Cars have been burnt, intersections have been taken over. Local and state officials are not happy with what's going on with the federal government. The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now. ICE came through here down in LA. The streets are erupting here. Let's see what's going on. The National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now. Right here on this federal building, you have words like F-ICE, revolution starting here, here for my family, all sorts of stuff. Right here you have the National Guard. They've come through. You have troops, about 300 in different directions. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's groups of 300 sent around the city right here. And this one is at the side of the federal building here at one of the ICE detention centers here in LA. What's your message to the National Guard here today?
The National Guard.
And why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
And what fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through here in Los Angeles?
I don't fear that motherfucker. Have you seen our community? I don't feel that motherfucker.
Donald Trump, homeboy on a motherfucking real fuck that piece of shit.
What's the water for?
Diffuse tear gas.
Diffuse
if needed.
tear gas.
Yeah. If you throw a canister in one of these, it should diffuse it enough, or at least stop the chemical reaction.
And what makes you want to come out here with the Honduras flag out here?
I mean, these are my roots right here, you know? This is where my family came from. I'm a first gen.
A lot of people wonder on social media, why are people coming out here with other nationalities' flags? If they don't like America, why don't they go back to
I love America and what it represents. You know, the idea of America to our people is a better future and an opportunity to have a job and create something that in our homes we don't have. You know, so we love America. We want to be here. We want to contribute. You know, and I agree. The people that have committed crimes and like an actual crime of murder, something like that, I can agree with that. I'm not gonna be.
Hey, there's the first American flag I've seen in all. I've been watching all these videos. There's an American flag. Okay, put some respect on it. Okay, got you.
A hypocrite and say no, keep everybody here.
Yeah.
But the people who are here, hardworking people.
Right now, do you think it's right for them to go after the most dangerous people like they say they're doing?
I mean, I don't see nobody here has attacked them. And they initiated all of this. We're peacefully protesting. They're the ones that come out with riot shields. They come out with billy clubs and all kinds of shit. I don't know who's the aggressor here, but it ain't us.
You! I can't wait to know you! Take off your badge, big boy! Take off your badge! Coward! Get that shit in my fucking face!
Okay. That guy's yelling at the ICE officials for being a coward for wearing a mask. Meanwhile, he also has a mask on. What's your message to the police officers in the...
Hold on. Who is this kid? He's lit. I randomly just saw this title. I was like, let's watch today. I hit you with a like. Nick Shirley. Hey, go F with him, man. I like him. He's kind of just in there, like, he just out there, like, yo, let's get it. Like, I think he's asking the right questions. Anyways, isn't it super ironic? The only reason we have this escalation, it damn near seems like a puppet show, like WWE or something to me sometimes, these psyops. And let's take it for what it's worth, because I know we got some diehard lefties in here, liberal folks, and we got some diehard Trumpers. I try to reside in the middle. I probably lean a little right because I'm a traditionalist. You know what I mean? I believe in nuclear family and just basic stuff. That's my personal beliefs and ideology. But let's try to get some common ground here. Is it ever seem strange to you? The only reason this is happening, this isn't happening. Everyone's like, oh, Donald Trump. Everyone blames everything on Donald Trump. But technically, like, this is happening because the Biden administration left our border open for 4 years, and there is a bunch of immigration issues all over the country. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's just what it is. I live in a damn sanctuary state, Colorado, sanctuary, you know? So these riots, it's really interesting after LA is trying to heal, you know, from the fires and all this other, you know, things that keep happening. And then this, I just don't understand. I don't understand. What I'm trying to figure out is where people got the money to protest. Like, I don't have time to protest. I got to record. I got to go to work. I got to do this, that, and the other. I don't even have time to protest, you know? And they're protesting for people who don't have time to protest either. These people got to work. They're over here trying to work, send money back home. It's just so interesting and ironic, all of it. All of it is so crazy to me. And my eyes opened last night. I had a spark epiphany because at first, y'all, go watch my first video. You know, I'm not rocking with this. I don't like seeing people on American soil. And this is me. I'm going to keep it a buck. Bro, it don't matter if it's the Mexican flag, the Confederate flag, the Ukrainian flag. You name a flag that people are waving right now like, oh, this is our this, that, and the other. I'm like, bro, America made that possible, right? Like, you waving that flag in this protest because America is that representation of you have the freedom to protest. You have the freedom to speak out against your government, all of that stuff. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know if the cops made the first move. But what I will say is, from what I've seen, ICE went in to arrest certain people. People didn't like that, and this exploded. You know, there have been some conversations that they've arrested the wrong people, or also like these people in the community who are actual citizens decided to stand up against ICE. Like, community activists and leaders were like, no, you can't take them. And then they ended up getting arrested. And these are the type of things that are like sparking the local activity, because these local activists have been around for so long. So there's a lot there. There's a lot more than just, yo, you know what I mean? But I still don't think it's right. I'm like, yo, man, if you know, we're just at that point right now. If you ain't got your paperwork, man, and this is, I said this in my last video, I'm like, yo, it'd be effed up. I'm talking all this shit, and then they accidentally deport my ass, and I'm a citizen. They're just like, hey, man, he fits the description. Get him out of here. You know, I ain't blind to the fact I look like a Latino. You know, I'm black and Mexican, but people thought I was Puerto Rican or Cuban or Dominican. Like, you know, they think I'm black and white. Like, you know, who knows, man? It's all about the lens they see you through. But yeah, this shit wild, bro.
National Guard right now. They've got a choice. They don't have to do this fucking shit. That's it. They can either be American citizens or they can be what they're doing right now. You don't think they're acting like as American citizens?
They're getting American citizens they're getting people who are not citizens, illegal immigrants, out of the country. What does that make them not America? They're doing their job. And it might be effed up to some people, but I don't know, man. I see it a little different. Now that I'm paying these taxes, I'm like, what the? This is going to that? They get free health care? An illegal citizen gets free health care, but I can't get shit. Like, I got to pay these crazy copay. What? They want us to go broke? I know so many people who went bankrupt because of cancer. And these MF, hey, you know, it was the same in 2020. You know, they made everyone get the shizot, you know, the bing bing. All the Americans had to get that, but the migrants, they're just floating over. Like, dude, this is wild. It's so hip. This is just all hypocrisy. All of it. All of it. What can you do, man?
No. Do you think they're trying to protect the country or make it a more dangerous place? What do you mean? Like, this is way, way beyond what it needs to be. Something's about to break out real soon. If these people keep taunting the police officers with all these other flags, all these other words they're saying to these police officers and National Guard, something's about to happen.
You guys suck! Christy Lewis, you guys suck! Donald Trump,
I can tell you're very upset.
Of course we are. Yeah. We feel some burning in the eyes right now upon arrival here. Everybody be prepared. We still fight for the legalization of all in occupied territories. This was indigenous land. This was Mexico. This is our fucking turf. F these motherfuckers. Free them all! Stolen.
Hey, I'm just going to keep it real. People about to cancel me, get mad. If this was still Mexico, if California wasn't America, it wouldn't be, I think it's the 4th biggest economy in the world. Well, it wouldn't be that. There wouldn't be opportunity there. It wouldn't. It'd be Mexico. pesos, cartels, selling chicles. She'd be selling chicles on the corner. She ain't going to have a balling ass job. America stands up because of capitalism, bro. And it propped us up. There are a lot of things in history. And let's keep it real. Like, I ain't saying America has its downfalls, right? You know, it is what it is. Like, we have definitely destabilized some nations and did some underground shit that, like, you know, F some stuff up. But the truth is, America is still the land of opportunity currently. It's changing very fast. I don't know if it's going to last. But everything she said, if this was still Mexico or whatever land, there wouldn't be the opportunities we have. It's just, you can literally go everywhere in the world and see, like, when you go do the statistics, America has created the most millionaires, billionaires, etc. Now, currently, man, I'm spitting my egg out. My bad, player. I'm talking to my mic. Currently, China, and I forgot what other country, are about to create, like for example, like in 2024 or whatever, 2025, China might create more millionaires than America. But if you go from the 1950s to the 2000s or the 2020s, America has created the most millionaires, billionaires. And you want to know what's funny about all of this nonsense? It's created the most Black and Latino millionaires and billionaires, especially in the black, you know, when you look at, like, people of color, their struggle across the world, they would tell you America is the most racist place and da-da-da, but the statistics show that it has created the most wealth for, you know, what we'd call minority. But, like, in the real world, like, are you the minority, right? But I'm just saying in America, what's classified the minority. And the most impactful voices because of entertainment, you know? So people got this shit twisted, but hey, let's chill in LA for a little bit. Y'all enjoying the ride, man? Welcome. We vacationing right here in, I guess, downtown LA, maybe. I don't know where this is. I used to go to LA to do so many shows, man. Hollywood Boulevard, I think. I played the House of Blues, all that good stuff, man. This is crazy. This is crazy to see, bro.
People on stolen land. Black people were stolen. And it was taken from the indigenous. Stolen people.
Who said black people were stolen? This is the fact that I hate about slavery. Because I didn't know until a few years ago. We sold ourselves into slavery. The Europeans couldn't handle the environment. They couldn't handle the environment in Africa. So they stayed on the coastline. And black tribes went and got the weaker black tribes and sold them into slavery. Talking about stolen people. I was like, technically, you were sold? Like, the white folks weren't running around like, get them. We did that. We ran around with spears and was like, get them. Now sell them to the whites. Bro, that's crazy, man. That F me up. That statistic F me up in real time, man. I don't like repeating that statistic. But when I see shit like this, because I was like this. I was like this when I was young. I was touring with Immortal Technique. I love Dead Prez. I love Public Enemy. I'm out here like, da 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 da. And yeah, technically, you know, if the natives, see, the natives were like floating around. Like, they were always traveling to where there were resources. So to say, this was our land, when they would float to different areas all the time. You know, the Europeans showed up. They had a different strategy. They had, you know, I think they had contracts at the time. They just had, like, they were just elevated with their technology, a bunch of stuff. And that's just the way the cookie crumbled. I'm not trying to be a sellout and be like, yo, all hail the European. They're the greatest person of the world. You know, nah, but it's just, this is where it fell. And now we are able to benefit from our ancestors' fight in civil rights, for our ancestors' fights through slavery, you know, all the revolutionary wars we've had on this turf, all these different things from our ancestors, we get to benefit, and you just have entitled people saying stupid shit. That's what I think. That's just what I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, just correct me, and we'll get the shit right. We're going to get it right one day. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, I can't do it. Also, all the indigenous like, they had a different type of lifestyle, you know, like closer to the Mexico, you know, they're chopping off heads on pyramids, doing all this, you know, wild stuff. And I just think it's funny how people was so quick to say these other ways are better when America has proved what is better. America has proved on paper for a majority of people what is better. And this is why so many people still, even in this phase we're at where we're kind of the demoralization phase and we're kind of falling off, we're still, so many people want to be here. So America has proved everything what they're saying to be wrong. but they still go out there and spew it. So it just is what it is.
What's your message to ICE and to the federal government today?
Just the message, just straight up, is just this government is fucking corrupt as fuck. People need to fucking start realizing that shit. And fucking, we need a fucking factory reset. We need some justice up in here. Just for everybody. Straight the fuck up. You know what I mean?
You have lots of tattoos, and people oftentimes interpret tattoos with being part of a gangs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm focused on some other shit right now. I'm not worried about that, though. You know?
You're not worried about that? So essentially all that's happening right now.
Yo, come on, man. What did y'all get from that part right there? What did you get from that? Yo. Oh, man. Wow. This is crazy. He could have been like, yo, I have a lot of tattoos because I'm a tattoo artist. I'm not a gang member. I represent my people. I'm an activist. He could have said anything in the world. You know, you on YouTube right now. I stay fresh and clean. But did he say that? No. You heard what he said, and that's, oh, Lord have mercy. Please, Lord, take the wheel.
Is that ICE, police, DHS, and the National Guard are just holding a line here outside this federal building. Protesters haven't gone back at the police quite yet. We'll see what happens. Could be happening very soon.
This was our land. All this is stolen. And what? Now we're fucking illegal here. Are you fucking kidding me? You're not fighting for. You're not fighting for this country.
We're gonna dox you.
See, this is where the problem is. This is what is easy to highlight. Because even hearing someone say shit like that pisses me off. That pisses me off. I'm just a regular ass dude. I'm Mexican, bro. I'm half black and Mexican, bro. Hearing that shit pisses me off. Because I'm not entitled, bro. I'm so appreciative of America and the opportunities it gave me. My father was in the military for 21 years. He had to deal with racism in the military in some capacity. So I could be at a point where I damn near haven't really dealt with racism in my life because of how far we've progressed as a country. I can't rock with this bullshit, man. It really infuriates me talking about this is our shit. This is disrespectful to Americans because this is like British people coming over here like, yo, you gonna give this shit to us now. Fuck you, man. And yo, taxes on tea. Anyways, yeah, like they acting like we didn't win the war. We didn't win all of this, man. Bro, come on, bro. This is like some spoil loser. You know what I'm saying? Some bad sportsmanship shit. That's what I learned from athletics, man. There's winners and losers. No such thing as a participation trophy. There's first, second, and third, and they gonna get the bread. Period. Anyone after first, second, and third don't get money, man. They don't get the accolades. They don't get to do a seminar, man. They got to go back to the drawing board and get they together and win. That's just what it is, man. And the sooner we accept that, the sooner you can become a winner. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I could be tripping. People think I'm insensitive and this, that, and the other. I'm just telling y'all how it is, man. Like, damn, what have we really come to this place? We really accepting participation trophies in life? Bro, over here talking about this is our land. This is our land. Now we're illegal. Bro, your land is a few miles away over that border, and you try doing this shit over there. You try this shit over there and see what the cartel and the government military have to say about you.
We're gonna dox you. We're gonna dox you.
I love this flag right here.
You just said you love that flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
This is what's even dangerous about me even talking about this on a public platform because these people are somewhat radical. They do doxing, they swat people, they do all this stuff just for you having an opinion. I'm not telling him, I'm not out there trying to fight with them, do nothing. I'm just saying my opinion. This is how I think, this is how I feel. And my honest opinion goes against like 90% of my industry. Maybe 98, maybe 99% of my industry. I'm in the rap industry, people. They don't think like me. The majority of people in the rap world do not think like me or act like me. It is what it is, man. Maybe there's, we're starting to bubble, though. People are starting to wake up. It could be like 85%, but I'm just going to keep it real. This is nonsense to me. This is nonsense. And this is the other thing. I think people of color, black folks, let's just call it what it is. Black folks see stuff like this, and they over here like, damn, we over here in our neighborhoods that are fighting for resources, fighting for, a kid's program, after school things, and these governments, these cities want to reallocate the money to illegals and people who are not citizens. So it's problematic for those groups of people as well. And they speak out, but they just don't get heard because the way the influx of statistics have changed in the country, I mean, they're the smallest percentage now. They don't have the buying power. They don't have this. They don't have that. And the people in leadership are listening to the majorities, let's say, and leaning into certain things. There's a lot of things problematic about not having your immigration set properly. It doesn't just, like, people are like, oh, they're splitting up families, and that stuff is really sad. It's messed up. I get it. But there's a lot more. There's a lot of different ripple effects throughout the country when you just don't have rule and you don't have a plan. So anyways, I don't know how much more of this we could watch because we already 25 minutes in, but it's all interesting, man. We 5 minutes into this. I'm over here yappity yapping.
What colors?
What?
I love this flag right here.
You just said you love that flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
What colors?
What's the purpose of bringing out the Mexican flags today here while we are in the United States?
Honestly, I have no idea, bro. I just came here to just show out. That's it, bro.
Do you think it's low-key like, all right, if you want to rep your flag, go back to your country kind of vibe, or do you think people are just upset with what's going on?
I don't know. Honestly, like, it's true, you know, like, we did come, but, like, I don't know, bro. It just, they're here already. They don't want to leave.
Why are they protesting what's going on here in the United States if they don't want to go back to their country?
Because they think it's stolen land, so they think they could just come in here, you know, and take over.
And this guy right here is essentially taunting National Guard right here, saying National Guard, LOL. Meanwhile, National Guard is right there with their troops. The lawyers have arrived.
Yeah.
What are you guys here to do?
We don't talk to press, I'm sorry.
Okay, and what's your guys' job here to do?
We're legal observers with the National Lawyers Guild, so we're a third party. Yeah.
So if the protesters say they touch a police officer, one of the members of the National Guard, who's at fault? If they then detain that
we don't.
Just look up National Guard. So the people with the green hats, they essentially watch to see if law enforcement does anything that they could then go and sue them for. So who knows who they get paid by. However, their job is to make sure that if a protester does get detained, they get all the name, info, so that they can go and file a lawsuit as they're part of the National Lawyers Guild. And a lot of people wonder who funds that group with the green hats. Is it George Soros or is it some other outside organization? Nobody really knows. We got this group right behind me gathering right now. They're all masked up. They're in a circle. Looks like they're planning to do something. You're here talking to the National Guard. What's your message to them today?
I'm just asking this dude to think, you know. I was just talking to this guy, asking him, if they give you the order to shoot, are you gonna do it? He wouldn't look me in the eye. It took a while, but he told me no eventually. None of these people want to be here. This captain looks sad as fuck. Look at this captain, bro. Sad as fuck. He does not want to be here doing this. None of them want to be here doing this, and yet they are. They need to make their own fucking choices and think for themselves.
Would you like to see them
That's the minute, yo, there's some deep stuff, bro, on the mechanics of like communism I was reading up on. And because there's some like, oh man, I don't want to biff it. I think it was the Black Liberation Army that went to Cuba to learn like activist tactics. And I was listening to Dead Prez the other day because they're one of my favorite rap groups, and I didn't really realize what I was taking in as a youth. Like, it's all socialism, communism, and like all these different things embedded in the music. And it's like some of the dopest hip hop. Like, it's bigger than hip hop. Hip is one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. But when you really listen to the lyrics, I was like, yo, this is like, you know, this stuff comes over from different places, different activism points. And I don't understand it enough to talk, but I do hear like what she's trying to do is a big part of it. Like what she's saying to these people and trying to flip people, it's a huge part of how, you know, these movements grow. And I'm not necessarily, this is what's crazy. The intention of most movements is valiant and can be good, right? But yo, man, this whole like, you know, come on, bro. Communism ain't worked nowhere, man. Show me where it worked, man. Then everyone will be like, yo, communism done right, bro. I can't even say some of the people because they're like really big stars and you know, people that I know. I don't want to put them on Front Street. But it's just wild, some of the stuff going on. So that's why I'll just come on here, spit a little bit. I'm not like a lot of these dudes that be in the game that have like a lot of influence. They're like super well read. They're super like intellectuals. I'm not trying to knock myself. I'm just not super well read. Like I'm just a common sense dude that hustled and just figured things out as I went, you know, no matter what I was involved in. I just have a different view, but I come to my own conclusions. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, just because you smarter than me on paper don't mean that I just can't. I'm like, yo, hey, what? Hold on, man. What? Bro, we balling. Like I'm talking about someone very particular here. I'm like, we are balling off of what we do in this moment. Performing, putting out rap songs, and this is the things we're doing are capitalistic. Now maybe you getting your t-shirts from a better place, you know, whatever. But what we doing, we balling, and we talk, and night after night, I'm hearing, you know, these things, and I'm like starting to just be like, you know, and these people give back to the community. I ain't gonna lie. They give back, you know, they definitely involved in giving back and stuff, but none of that's even possible without this concept of free markets competing. And I know in the comments, there's no such thing as free markets anymore. There's a lot of manipulation, but essentially, I feel like it has done more for the world, more abundance, etc. But this is crazy.
It's armed in front of thousands of people.
I just want the National Guard out of my city. I want people freed. I don't want to see any more kidnapping. I don't want to see any more ICE in our communities. I want to see tax dollars going to this.
Who would you like to protect the nation?
The people. I mean, all I care about is the people. I just want everybody to be safe, not kidnapped.
Do you think there needs to be laws here in the United States to regulate things like immigration?
I think people need to not be kidnapped.
For instance, this is all caused because...
See, she won't answer the question. Because are you being kidnapped, or are you just being detained and sent back to your country of origin? I'm tired of people acting like people are being kidnapped. You can't be like, you know, the concept of even being kidnapped is being taken from your home, being taken from what is familiar. This is not their home. Like, what are we talking about? Like, well, they've been here a few years. Well, you know, their parents made some freaking decisions for them that they didn't make. Look, you got to get the shit right, man. And she talking about taxpayers' dollars for National Guard, but what about the other people that don't want taxpayers' dollars funding all the resources for people who aren't citizens? Like I'm gonna argue that to this date, because you could be balling, like you could be balling in the middle class and then go bankrupt because you have to fight cancer and the crazy expenses of healthcare. Just keep it real, man. Keep it real. Why can't you take care of the citizens of America with health care, take care of the veterans? Why are you going to take care of people who are not citizens? I mean, that's a red flag, bro. That's telling you something about our government. They doing something. They doing the old switcheroo. You've been bamboozled right in front of you. I mean, come on, bro. What are we talking about? Now I'm starting to get charged up because this still could be a psyop. Still could be a psyop to, like, you know, all these protesting. Like, we should be able to protest. Period. I don't give a F what you know what I'm saying, but look.
Because a lot of people did come to the country these past 4 years. Do you think there should be regulations with who comes across the border and how many come across?
You know, I think whatever regulations there may or may not be, they're abducting people at court cases, right?
If somebody comes across the border...
He's coughing because all the tear gas in the air.
Without due process, do they deserve due process going out?
Yes, everybody deserves due process.
Now they're all moving, they're going to City Hall.
You deserve due process in your country. Wherever you're a citizen, that's where you deserve due process. If you're not a citizen of America, that's what I believe. I believe you need to go to where you're a citizen and they will give you due process. That's what I believe. Unless I don't know how it works with the visa, green card, but I'm guessing like, you know, visa, green card, or you are a citizen or resident here, cool, figure it out, do some due process. But if you are not from here, I don't understand how you're entitled to due process here, right? And this is why they want to be here, because we're typically a little more civilized with our judicial systems and stuff like that, even though that has its issues as well. I'm going to tap out. I think my last thoughts are simple. Keep your eyes open. Do you think there's been some type of infiltration to lead to the violence? Because a lot of times there will be people co-opting and infiltrating movements to start the violence, and then the people are just randomly kind of flow with it. You know, you saw it with a lot of different things. And is this to, you know, I mean, they sent Marines out. The Marines are about to show up. So, you know, I don't know, man. putting the actual military up against civilians is pretty crazy, pretty wild. I think it's been done before though, but I don't know. You guys, my bad, I'm about to burp. You guys let me know in the comments. Again, I'm just trying to have a convo. I'm spitting out how I feel, my opinions. You know, certain things can change, you know, stances, but I think this is pretty commonsensical. You know, even some of the people in here is like, yeah, get the criminals out of here, get the violent. I'm like, get the criminals out immediate. Anyone with a criminal charge that's here illegally, get them out. I don't care if they stole bubble gum at the store, get them out of here, period. So that should be first light. And then start going through the tactics of trying to get, you know, people out of here who are, you know, leeching off the system versus the people working. And the people working, I'm actually kind of okay with if people are actually here working and they get into a system where they're contributing to taxes, I'm cool with them staying, bro. Like, I don't care. We all paying taxes together, cool. I'm cool with that. Some people ain't even cool with that. They're like, no, they're illegal, get them out. I'm just like, yo, systems are systems. But, and anyways, y'all let me know, man.
City boy,